All right. Well, welcome to another episode. My name is Peter Tobin,
I'm Brian Lawrence.
and today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy IV. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. We're going to be talking about the movie Fantastic Four. Now, this is the
This is the train wreck of the summer. I thought this prestige was going to go to Terminator Genesis, but no, we have a new crowning champion.
Well, that is the consensus on a lot of reviews. Now, mind
If
you,
you've looked at the
this
internet
is,
at all over the past week.
which most of us do because we all live on the internet. We don't live on planet Earth anymore. So this is the reboot of the Fantastic Four franchise. And sorry, I haven't had enough, clearly. Honestly, when I saw the trailers for the first time about 8 months ago, I was super excited.
And I think most of the community was.
We
it
all
had
were.
this dark, kind of edgy
It was
look
greedy,
to it.
it was grainy, it was just like, this is going to be a real look at it.
It didn't. None of the stars. It didn't have like those kind
No.
of big movie stars. They kind of went with some people that you kind of recognize, but they were still kind of relative unknowns. This is yet again with we didn't quite see what so much of the hate was. It is a slow burning movie. This is certainly an origin story, which I know a lot of people are sick of. I'm kind of sick of the origin story too now. We have one now, and we just have to judge it based on the terms that it does by itself, which as an origin story, I felt it worked. Okay. There's not a whole lot of action, so if you're going into this expecting an Avengers type BAM movie, you're not going to get that at all. Just fair warning. Really, in terms of action scenes, really it's kind of towards just the very end that I'd say you kind of get the actual kind of climactic action scene.
Yeah,
but going up till then, it's way more character development. It's origin. It's set up for what I guess they were hoping to be a continuable franchise, judging by the box office results and the overall reception that this movie got. I feel like that is highly unlikely. I was actually a little pleasantly surprised that it wasn't quite as terrible as everybody seemed to be making it out as. I thought it was well-paced in this era where you have these superhero movies that are going 2+ hours in runtime. It was kind of refreshing to see a movie that was only about an hour and 40 minutes that didn't try to do this huge span epic thing. That was just a nice, briskly paced, while still feeling coherent story.
Absolutely. What Brian said is absolutely true. As far as an origin story, this is superb. I really believe that the characters could come from this origin story. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't solely devoted to one or another person, but then again, it wasn't overly done on every single person. So you have the origin story for Reed Richards and his friendship with Ben Grimm. And that bond, they show the growth of, but not like so in depth that you see their whole childhood. It's this one moment in time that draws them together. And then you jump 7 years later, which I thought was perfect.
Yes.
I thought it was brilliant. Let's not dwell on every single detail. Let's jump to the future. Okay, boom. And then we have the arc, the beginning of the arc anyway, where they are drawn into this military program in this project, and that sparks everything that happens from that point forward. But everything to that point is believable, it's understandable, it's comprehensible, and you're not going, no, and you're not going, well, I don't understand anything that just happened there. So it works. And then you meet the other characters. Then they introduce the other characters. And you get this quick sequence of Johnny Storm and why he's reckless and why he is who he is and how he becomes who he becomes. And Sue Storm and how she is who she is, who she is. You know, it's like, why is she reserved? Why is she held back? This is why. Why is Ben Grimm so hardcore? This is why. Why is Reed Richards who he is? And everything. Even with Victor Von Doom, I thought they did a brilliant job. I was really, really worried that they were going to go over the top with Von Doom's character, and they were subtle and they were just gentle. They just prodded.
Yes, it's the characters that they were before. They set it up so that it can fit more into what they become after the event happens that gives them the powers.
Miles Tyler is probably one of the more well-known actors. Kate Mara, she is an absolute drop-dead gorgeous woman.
You'll know her from the House of Cards series, the first season of American Horror Story.
Oh God, she was so fun in that series.
Crazy. Oh. Michael B. Jordan here as the Human Torch.
Does a great job, way better. And I'm sorry, Captain America, please don't come barging in my door and beat me up.
I think Chris Evans is doing okay career-wise.
I think he's doing pretty good too, so I don't think he'll be barging in my door. But still, Captain America loved you as the Human Torch. But I'm glad to see that we have a new candidate for a Fantastic Four Avengers crossover series. And he does, honestly, a great job as the Human Torch. He's not over the top, which, I'm sorry, Captain, but your character was written as a little over the top. He was headstrong and adventurous, but he wasn't super fucking over the top, which I thought was really brilliant for the writers. I thought they did a really good job with his character.
And then we got Jamie Bell as the Thing.
Jamie Bell does a great job in this.
Yes, given how much he appears in the movie, because obviously he's going to turn into the Thing at some point. He's going to be kind of a big rock monster, which kind of the special effects department takes over from there.
But at the same time, even with the special effects covering over his face,
the character comes through.
They still, you know, they have to map the Thing's behavior over Jamie Bell's demeanor and his performance. So at the same time, you have the Thing, but you have Jamie Bell underneath it. So I think Jamie Bell does a good job impersonating the Thing.
He kind of captures that he's kind of like enclosed, like raised in a shitty family type thing, bad situation, but he kind of meets Miles Teller and they kind of make this, and he really believes in what he's doing.
The growth of the character is really believable. It actually really is.
And then we have Mr. Toby Cable as our villain, Dr. Doom.
Oh, such a good job.
We'll get more into this in the spoiler section of this review.
Overall, his acting, now, mind you, there's a lot of CG in the whole thing, so we can't tell you how good his acting is based on his, you know, physical performance. It's kind of like the Goblin or the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man movie, where you couldn't see his facial features, you couldn't see how he was talking, but it was like the demeanor and everything. Now, he wasn't bobbing his head left and right or anything, but you could definitely tell his eyes.
Yes, similar to Bane in Dark Knight Rises, where most of the performance was in the voice.
And he does a great job with his voice, his vocal commands, his eyes, where he drew the attention to everything was really good. Dr. Franklin Storm, he played
Reggie Cathy, who we know from the Oz television show on HBO. I think he might have been in The Wire also.
I believe. Well. So we have Reg E. Wilson, who...
After 30 minutes of discussing the career of Reg E. Cathy, Peter got his name wrong.
Plays.
Kathy. Not Reggie Wilson.
Yeah, I know. Reggie Cathy. God damn it. So we have. Oh God, we are just a fucking shit show right now. Who do I fucking work with? This is.
We're not even talking about it. I'm just gonna laugh. So here we go. Overall thoughts of the movie.
So one of my favorite characters that was kind of underrated was Reg E. Cathy. Fuck you. We finally got that right. Reg E. Not Reggie. Reg E. Cathy. He does a great job in this as Dr. Franklin Storm, the father of Sue and John Storm. He does a great job as being the kind of focal point for family and bonding and being together as one. And I think he does a great job for that.
Yeah.
So he kind of draws the whole family origin story together.
For this movie, spoiler free, we actually both surprisingly enjoyed it for what it was. It was a solid origin story. There was a good format. I don't even fucking know. I mean, we liked it. Go watch it if you want. If you like it, cool. If not, okay, fine. It's just fuck it. This is just two drunk guys in an apartment giving.
This is a studio. Shut up! Don't let them know. We had a good time. Like honestly, yes. This the whole point of this movie review series is that we go have a couple drinks and we go see these movies and we have a good time watching these movies. What the point is that we're trying to get across to everybody is do not go see the movie because everybody tells you the movie is terrible. See the movie because you want to see the movie. Or don't go see the movie because you don't want to go see the movie.
Absolutely.
That is the point that we are trying to get across to everybody.
With what the general consensus was of this movie,
it was terrible.
It was way more coherent and overall well structured than I think either of us were expecting. I can't help but feeling that if this exact movie was translated into a comic book verbatim, people would be complaining that this comic book wasn't made into a movie, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense, and I absolutely believe that. I would absolutely 100% concur with you.
Like, I kept trying to imagine this as comic book panels, and I was like, this would be an awesome fucking comic book.
And, you know, it doesn't matter what the reviews tell us. It's not about the reviews. It's about you and your opinion. Now, you don't have to believe us in our opinion, but we're going to give you our honest opinion and what we think. But then there's these movies, like everyday movies, like fucking Fantastic Four. It's not a bad movie. It's getting a lot of shitty reviews because people and reviewers are expecting it to be Avengers or Avengers Age of Ultron, or they're expecting it to be
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight series. Or they're expecting it to be funny and witty like Guardians of the Galaxy, which you cannot duplicate unless you have those same actors and those same scriptwriters. You can't. So people, please understand me that they do a great job with what they have. The origins of how they get their power is still a great story, and it's incredible. And it's very well told. It's way better than the early 2000s saga. I expected to see a good, solid origin story. From the time I saw the 4 logo on a screen, that was the teaser. That was the fucking teaser a year and a half ago, was 4. I was like, oh, we're going to reinvent the whole saga. Awesome. And then we started getting the trailers. And I thought, perfect. This is awesome. This looks like a brilliant reinvention of the saga. A reboot, solid and worthy of our times. And I honestly agree. I think my opinion has come true.
Yeah. I think overall we were both very satisfied with what we got.
Absolutely.
You may not be if you're, again, like I've already said, if you're expecting a thrilling action adventure, that's not what you're going to get, but you have a coherent, well-structured movie all the way through. Just enjoy it for what it is, and enjoy it for the fact that it kind of differentiates itself from a lot of the other superhero movies that are currently being thrown at us. So I think that is it for our spoiler-free review, and I think now we are going to be getting into spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to know spoilers, turn off right now.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. Come back when you've seen the movie or when you're ready for spoilers. I'll provide a link in the description for the time that we're going to start the spoilers, which is probably going to be in about 5 seconds. So here we go. Spoilers starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fuck you, I'm out.